As we edge closer to the European Championships, the question on everybody's lips is, can Switzerland win Euro 2020? In this video, we're going to see just how far they can go in this summer's spectacular. Right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, it's all about Euro 2020 as we take a look at a nation's hopes of the tournament this summer. We'll see just how far they get, of course, in my eyes, when the tournament kicks off in June. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, we'll take a shout out to the VIPs, the patrons behind the scenes. Thank you for your continued support. I do appreciate that, guys. And of course, if you want to join yourselves, check out the links down below, patreon.com/. But today, it's all about Switzerland. That's right, boys and girls, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll be able to answer your two simple questions. Can the Swiss win Euro 2020, and will the Swiss win Euro 2020? Well, of course, we'll have to examine all that once we've digested all this information. Kicking it off with, of course, how they bloody got there. That's right, the Swiss coming out on top. Yeah, that's right, on top of Group D, a very, very difficult Group D as well, beating the likes of Denmark, the Irish, Georgia, and of course Gibraltar. In the end. So yeah, coming out on top, good start, good belief. You know, they're one of those nations that can go through, you know, just be a little bit sneaky beaky and go without anyone really noticing them, and until it's too bloody late, of course, before they upset you. And again, they're in a group here. We'll take a look at the group in a minute. Of course, they have a good chance to go some distance in this tournament. Anyway, of course, they sealed the bloody deal, of course, winning Group D, of course, and they achieved that back on the 18th of November 2019. This is their fifth championships for the Swiss. Of course, they were in 96, 2004, 2008, and of course 2006. Back-to-back tournaments for them for the first time since 2004, 2008. I don't really have their best. I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm guessing. I don't know. It wasn't a ranked position. But of course, they are managed these days by Vladimir Pekovic. That's right, pulling the strings these days. The Swiss currently ranked 16th in the FIFA World Rankings. They were once ranked as high as number 3 back in 1993. And again, a debatable one here, but the most valuable player, or at least the best player for me, is Dennis Sakira, of course, for Borussia Mönchengladbach, of course, defensive midfielder. Yeah, it's a position that goes under the radar, but it does a lot of the donkey work. You know what I mean? They do a lot of the hard work, so the attacking players can score goals. So the defensive player, the key defenders can have a bit of a respite. So you know what? You have a good engine in. It was basically the engine to a team, and of course, a lot of clubs. Big-time clubs, major clubs, and of course major nations and nations around the world have a key player dubbed the engine. And for me, Dennis Sakira is that ingredient for, of course, Switzerland. Get him on a good day. And again, he's at a club where he's going to be looking to make a push to a bigger club, a Manchester United, an AC Milan, of course, maybe a top-tier La Liga side. You know what I mean? He is playing probably below his standard, and that hurts me to say that because I'm a Mönchengladbach supporter or fan. You know what I mean? It's my German club. So yeah, key part of the team here to feed the likes. Of course, you got Granit Xhaka, also dubbed defensive midfield. Brie Mbolo scoring goals. Xherdan Shaqiri as well. Aris Sarcevic as well, of course, from Benfica. Lots of key young attacking players, of course, for the Swiss. Kicking on forward. So let's take a look at where the Swiss ranked amongst the other nations, of course. In the European qualifying campaign. Of course, they finished 9th overall, which is not too shabby, of course, losing just the one match, of course, just above the likes of Croatia and the Dutch. Even though they got less points than the Dutch, they finished above them. Well, there you go. Because they won their group. That's why you've got to bear that in mind. They won their bloody group. So let's take a look at their journey, possibly to, of course, the knockout stages. Of course, the Swiss are in Group A alongside the likes of Turkey, Wales, and of course Italy, of course, and they're fancying their chances to get out of this group. I think it is a very, very tricky group. With, of course, Italy. Probably you're 100% favourites on this one. But then the runners-up spot, which of course guarantees you a spot in the next round, is wide open. I think Turkey have a chance, Switzerland have a chance, Wales have a chance. So for me, must-win game for the Swiss is against the Welsh. I have dubbed the Welsh the weakest nation in this group. And that's no disrespect to Welsh. Of course, they are a small-time nation in regards to the grand picture. If you're honest with me, Welsh, if you're watching this and trying to look at your opposition, you are a smaller nation compared to everything else. And you're going through a really good era for the Welsh football. But I think the Swiss are also going through a good era. Look at them. They blitz through their group. They're looking absolutely fantastic at the moment. Of course, they're not one of the host nations, the Swiss. They'll be based out in Rome in Italy, which is not far away from the Swiss border itself. So again, those base camps may change, the venues may change, but for the time being, the Swiss have a good HQ to build a decent campaign here, of course. But yeah, must-win game, beat the Welsh. It is their first game as well. 3 points in the bag if they get it, and then they'll just need possibly a point or two at the last two, and guess what? You're through to the knockout stages. Of course, let's take a look at the bookies odds on this one. The bookies odds for them to qualify is actually 15-8 on, which is of course strong odds. Of course, if you want to take a look at odds for them to win the whole thing, they're 66-1. Of course, long shots. And again, the Swiss, you know what? They are a nation you just don't really know about. There are a few dark horses and amongst the 24 nations that will be taking part, and the Swiss are one of those nations that, you know what, on a given day, they could beat anybody. They couldn't beat anybody. And of course, they have a difficult group to get out of. Get past the group, and of course, get into the knockout stages. And you could be having your best 90 minutes of your life when you take on the likes of the French or Spain or the Dutch or whatever. You know what I mean? So do not rule out the Swiss. Yes, I think they can potentially win the Euros. But I'm also, when I say that, I'm thinking of the likes of a Greece, of a Denmark, coming out of nowhere and of course winning it. But I would not say this is a fantastic, groundbreaking moment like when Leicester City won the Premier League or when Greece won the Euros. I think Switzerland, you know, you've got to give them better credit. They've got some really good players. It's a time for them to shine today, to step up. And to be fair, will they win it? Of course, I don't think so. And if all hands on deck, if I had to put my life savings on it or whatever, where do I think the Swiss will finish? I do think they'll go to the second round, and then they'll be stuck up against a difficult nation, and unfortunately, they won't get that. They won't get that moment. But that's just my opinion again. But I'm hoping to see myself be corrected with this. I do think there is the makings of an upset here by the Swiss, and they could go a lot further than the second round. But ultimately, that's what I'm saying. The Swiss second round. There you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitch, and I'm even on Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. Again, we'll be covering the tournament extensively over the summer. Of course, we've got watch-alongs, previews, predictions, of course, all of that stuff, and many, many more. So make sure you, of course, smash your subscribe. And while you're at it, give the video a big old fat thumbs up. Again, I'll see you all very soon for another one tomorrow. Until then, well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, we'll have exclusive coverage for Euro 2020 over on the channel. Of course, we'll have match previews, match reviews, of course, watch-alongs and all kinds of stuff, including predictions as well. No. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I'm on Twitter, Twitch. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, if you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, make sure you check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms are on there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, on Twitch as well. And if you want to check me out at Patreon, you can check that out as well. Also, exclusive and extensive coverage of Euro 2020 this summer on the channel. We'll have, of course, previews. We'll have predictions, of course, watch-alongs as well. And, of course, we might even get a reappearance of Cass, the predicting cat, the real cat, not DigiCass. But, of course, lots of stuff on the channel. So make sure you give the video a big old fat thumbs up while you're at it, and of course make sure you smash the subscribe. Until then, I'll see you all very soon for another one. Until then, I'm out.